Hello and welcome to another episode of my Working with Todoist series. My name is Carl Pullein and this week I'm going to show you how to use time blocking with Todoist, or rather how to use Todoist with time blocking. So what I'm going to be doing this week is I'm going to be showing you a typical planning session, a daily planning session, and how I'm using my calendar with that to time block the right enough time in order to get my most important work done. Now, before we go any further, if you do get any value from this video, then please help me by clicking on that like button below. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet and you want to get all the latest tips, tricks and news on using Todoist, then please subscribe to my channel. Okay, it's time for me now to take you into my Todoist and calendar and show you how to combine Todoist with time blocking.
Okay, so here is a typical day in the life of me. Actually, this would be a typical Friday for me. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is, normally I would do this when I'm doing my daily planning at the end of the day. So I'm going to be using my upcoming view. This is where I generally do my planning for the day. So at the end of the day, I go into upcoming and I can then have a look quite easily by just moving along the top here of my days as they come up. Now, for the purposes of this demonstration, I'm going to show you today, which is Friday the 8th as I'm recording this, so that you can see how I'm using Todoist and time blocking together. So the way I see things is Todoist is the list of tasks that I have to perform today. So as you can see up here, I've got 14 tasks that I need to perform today. Now, I have a code that I use the flags for, which most of you who've been following me for some time will already know the code. The code is the P1 flag. This is the red flags here. These are my objectives for the day. If I don't do anything else, these are my must-do tasks. I must exercise today and I must record my YouTube videos. My P2 flags, the orange flags, these are for my morning. So these are the tasks that I've decided I'm going to do in the morning. And my blue flags P3 are for the tasks that I do in the afternoon. The remaining tasks are generally just my routines. And as you can see, most of these are all coming up here as my routines. I've got here is a recurring area of focus, which is to do my daily planning, but essentially they're just the routines. I don't usually worry about those on a day-to-day basis. Now, for those of you who are interested, when do I add the flags? More often than not, I add the flags when I do my daily planning session. Although if I go into tomorrow, Saturday, you'll see that I do actually have some pre-flagged areas here already. But again, these are actually, most of these are actually, in fact, are they? Apart from that one? But most of these are actually recurring, as you can see here, because these are the things that I just do every Saturday morning. But let's go back to Friday. So these are the tasks that I've got to do today. And as you can see, one of my objectives today is to record my YouTube videos and exercise. So these are two objectives. I need to make sure I have time on my calendar to do these two tasks. So if we go over to my calendar, you will see first up, I've got my exercise is scheduled on my calendar, as it always is pretty much every day. It's always scheduled on my calendar. And generally speaking, I do my exercise between 2 and 3 p.m. in the afternoon. It's just a nice break for me in the day. I also have scheduled in my calendar my audio visual time. And this is the key to actually building blocks of time on your calendar. You don't want to be too specific. So for example, I generally have a task which is to record my podcast. Now, it's not on here because this is my demo account. Now, generally speaking, I have an audio visual day every Friday. This is almost a perfect reflection of my real calendar. Fridays is audio visual day. So I've got 2 slots of 3 hours. So I've got 6 hours in total to do any audio visual time today. So I know that I can record my YouTube videos right here. That is scheduled. I also have down here, you'll see in the afternoon, I've got edit YouTube videos. So I've got the time right here. Now, generally speaking, I don't need 3 hours to record my YouTube videos unless I'm having a particularly bad day. Sometimes that does happen. So that leaves me usually about another 90 minutes to an hour where I have that time available to record my podcast, which is what I usually do because it's audio visual time. So essentially what that means is I've got my microphone set up, I've got my camera equipment set up, and my lighting equipment set up. So while I've got all that set up, I can do my video and audio recording. So that's the two things there. These are the big ones. That's an objective, and my edit YouTube videos isn't an objective, but it's a should do because I can edit on a Saturday. The most important thing is get the recording done. Editing can be done at my desk. I don't need any special equipment. I'm using software for that. I've got some here where I've got a couple of communications which I've scheduled for the morning. So call Sarah about next week's virtual conference. Is everything okay? That might be a 20-minute call. And reply to Sonia's request for more information. Again, I might need 30 minutes for that. So what I'm going to be doing when I'm doing my daily planning, I'm checking that I've got the time to do it. And I'm thinking, oh, right. So between 12 p.m. and 2 p.m., I've got a 2-hour block there that I'm going to keep free because who knows what might come up. We've got to be aware that, we have emergencies that come up during the day. So I don't want to schedule anything in there. I'm not going to put like communication time in there, which I could do. And sometimes I do. If I've got a lot of communications, I will block an hour out for communications, which could be phone calls, message replying, and email responding. Coming down here, I've got chase any overdue invoices. Again, that's for the afternoon. And I'm looking again, I will look in there, we'll look at this. I've got plenty of time. Actually, I've got 30 minutes between my finish of my exercise and my audio visual time. And I've got time in the evening as well. I've got my daily planning session, which as you can see here is fixed. And that allows me, I've given myself 45 minutes for that. I don't need 45 minutes of planning. So it gives me a little extra time, usually another 25 minutes where I can do some admin, catch up with communications or anything like that. And then tonight, being a Friday, I actually have coaching calls between 9:30 and 10:30 p.m. So as you can see, my calendar is allowing me to see very clearly how much time I've got. So I've got this wonderful block here. I might have an emergency to deal with, but it doesn't matter because what I know right now as I start the day, as you can see right here, it's 9:30 in the morning-ish. I have the time set aside to do my main objectives, which are right here, the exercise and record my YouTube videos. And that's key. So when I come to doing my planning tomorrow, the same rules are going to apply. I've got the writing the podcast script for next week. So I'm looking in here, do I have any writing time? I actually don't. So I'm looking around here thinking, where am I going to be able to find the time to do it? And what I might discover is, well, actually Saturday's looking a bit full. So when I'm doing the planning, I'm going to think, right, let's have a look. Where is that? We'll write the podcast script. What I might do then is I'm going to move that to Sunday because I've got Sunday here between, I think it's between 11 a.m. and 2 p.m. So I can then just jump in here. I'm going to give myself a break. I'm going to go in there and just type in writing time because what I don't want to do is I don't want to limit myself to just writing the podcast script. If I have a really good day and I get the podcast script written in 30 minutes, unlikely, but let's say I did, what am I going to do for the other 30 minutes while I'm in the zone, while I'm writing? So what I want to do is I want to get into that and go in for I want to get it so that I can actually do a little bit more than just that. So I'm going to go make that 11:30. And I'm going to drag that out and make that to 1:30. So I give my 2 hours of writing time. And that could actually be, I might actually decide I'm going to respond to all my email. I'm going to clear up my email for that. So, and then I've got my weekly planning session, which if we go back to here, I've got on Saturday, weekly planning session is there, so it's scheduled. And so there's a few things in there. I've got time to wash the car. That's going to take me 30 minutes. So again, I'm looking at that. I'm thinking, oh, I'll do that at 5 o'clock. I'll just take it down and wash the car. So I can just grab in there, get car washed. That's not likely to happen actually because I know in my real life, I know for a fact that I'm going to take that at 5 o'clock. So just drag that down. So, and I only need 30 minutes for that. So just move that to, there we go. So, so that's the way I would do my planning. So now I look at my calendar, I think, right, great. Sunday, I've also got all these blocks. I've got these times in here where I've got time between sessions to deal with any emergencies. And this is the key with time blocking is don't squeeze everything in. Like you don't give yourself no space at all because emergencies will happen. So that's how I use Todoist, and I use the upcoming view right here to do my daily planning because that's how I can manage my work so much better. And as I'm explaining how I'm doing this in this video, so it's taking me about 10 minutes. But when you're doing this on your own for real with your computer, it's probably going to take you no more than 10 minutes just to do this planning. You look at your tasks, you go to your calendar, you check to see if you've got the time available to do it. And it really does work because part of actually getting yourself organized in this way means you reduce the stress. Your brain isn't worried that you don't have time to do your work. I've got the time to do the work. I've scheduled it on my calendar. I can sleep easy knowing I've got the time to do it. So there you go. That's how I wanted to show you this week. I wanted to show you how you can use Todoist with your time blocking to make sure that you've got the time to do the tasks, particularly these tasks up here, which is, if I go into my today's focus, these are the crucial tasks today. These are the ones that must happen so that I can tell myself I've had a productive day. And I now know that I've scheduled enough time on my calendar to get all that done. So there you go. Hopefully you found that useful. Don't forget, if you did find this useful, please hit like at the bottom of the screen. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, then please do help me by subscribing to my channel. And it just remains for me now to wish you all a very, very productive week.
Hello, thank you very much for watching my videos. Now I have something exciting to tell you about. Recently I have developed a brand new time management system. It's a system designed to manage your time in the 21st century. The world has changed a lot over the last 20 years. In fact, it's actually changed a lot this year. And what we need now is a system, a time management system that is very easy to use, easy to maintain, so that you can spend more of your time doing the work. And that's what the time sector system is all about. It's going to change your whole belief system about the way a time management system should work, because this focuses on when you are going to do the task. And let's be honest, it doesn't matter how motivated, inspired, or how urgent something is. If you don't have time to do it, it is never going to get done. And that's what this system is built around, getting your work done, so you can spend more of your time doing the things that you want to do. I hope you join me in this course. The full details of the course are in the show notes below, so please join me, and thank you very much for watching this brief video.